All right, Septerra Core. The thing that stands out the most to me is the terrible, terrible combat. Seriously, it's awful. I mean, it takes like frickin' forever, and a lot of the sound effects, they like keep running the sound effect, I guess, after the attack is complete. Like, grenades are the worst for this, and you can't do a damn thing until the entire sound effect is over. So, like, you get hit with a grenade, then you're just sitting there waiting to, click on your own character so you can do something. It just takes freaking forever. Uh, so yeah, the combat is definitely one of the lowest points, and it's you do a lot of it. There's like enemies everywhere and monsters and all that. In order to actually get through this game, I had to basically sit down, set aside like a huge, like an hour, 2 hours to play at a time, which isn't always that easy. I mean, sure, a lot of you that don't have jobs or whatever probably could do it, but anyway, I do. Other than that, the characters, I like the character designs. I think that was one of the selling points for me, why I originally got it way back in the day. So the characters were really neat. They had nice personalities or whatever, but you didn't really get to see much of it very much. I mean, there were a few scripted sequences, but it was almost like they knew on paper what they wanted to do, but transferring it from paper into the game, it seems like they didn't fill in a lot of the gaps they should have. Like, the whole romance thing between Grub and Led, that just kind of seemed like, okay, we are interested in each other. Okay, they basically came right out and said that out loud. And then, there's that little side questy type thing for that. And it just kind of seemed, it didn't really seem organic. It didn't really seem like the characters interacted nearly as much as they probably should have. But whatever. Other than that, the story was interesting. Again, suffers from the same thing. It seemed like they just didn't fill in a lot of the gaps to really make it an immersive, cohesive type story. Uh, the the items, it seemed like they were trying to go kind of like a halfway to like a Monkey Island type, collect the items and use them to solve puzzles and that kind of thing. The problem there is it didn't really seem like it was a very consistent feel for that throughout the game. I mean, there was a few items you had to pick up, but they didn't really go expand upon it beyond that. Like, I would have liked to see, even if there was a lot more red herrings or a lot more, items that didn't really do anything, or a lot more items, item quests that, were just kind of like added on, like side quest type things. This game is pretty much, except for a few small things, like all main quest, and it kind of, I don't know, it kind of, makes the world seem a little bit smaller than it actually is. I mean, you don't even know what shell you're on till later in the game when you actually have the airship, and even then, you just kind of have that little globe to look at. So, like, you started on shell 2, I was thinking, okay, shell 2, that must be counting from the inside, from the core, and then shell 1 would be the core, actually, but no, that's the other way around, which kind of doesn't make sense because Maya's like a scavenger. It would have made sense to me to have Maya been on one of the lower shells, because then all the stuff from all of the other shells would have fallen down to her shell. But whatever, I'm not gonna nitpick that. Overall, interesting game. I don't think I'm gonna play it again. Probably, at least not for a while, because it is a really long game, and like I said, that the combat really adds to it. I probably could have sped the combat up if I used a lot more of the magic attacks, a lot more of the fate cards. You probably saw, like, towards the end there, I was just like, okay, no mercy for those freaking cloaker guys. Those cloaker guys, you want, they cloak, and then you use that anti-cloak spell, and then they cloak immediately again. I mean, what the hell is that? They're like designed to just be annoying and not really be difficult. Overall, I think there's room for improvement on like a lot of these things. I don't think it's like necessarily completely a bad game. I mean, it definitely does have its charm. I did like, like I said, a lot of the characters. I did like a lot of the personality. I like the world. I mean, what you got to see of the world. I did like that. like I said, just more things to flesh out. But other than that, if you decide to pick up this game, I hope you enjoy it. I did, enjoy it a bit. I look forward to next time I see that Brian B guy, chatting with him about it. So, anyway, till next time. Now, if any of you have actually followed through this all the way to the end, like I have, I invite you all to join me in a shot. So, should all acquaintance be forgotten, never brought to mind. Cheers. Septerra Core in the bag. Later.